all I ever dreamed of as a kid was having a career racing bikes, not having to work a 9 till 5 and getting to ride motorbikes as a living.
I met a Gypsy.
I had no ride at the time. I'd done some short circuit racing. It's when I'd moved.
But you only just started racing like tarmac stuff in 2016, right?
16, yeah.
So this is like a year after you've gone from
So I only did a year
off-road and moto to racing on the road.
Yeah, I come up short on a finish line triple, and in British Supercross, smashed my leg to a lot of pieces, and they were talking about cutting it off, and
No
struggled
way.
for blood flow and stuff, and it was messed up real bad, and everybody, all my family and friends and stuff were like, "Oh, what are you gonna do now? You don't race anymore." I'm like,
This is too dangerous.
I'm not stopping racing. And the short funny story is then so motocross was too dangerous, so I had to do something safer. So I do the TT instead. But that's not exactly it. I'd just I'd had some friends that had basically gone into riding sports bikes, and they got on pretty well, moving from moto to riding on circuits and stuff, and they seem to pick it up really fast, which you definitely can't do the other way. When you jump from street bikes and try and ride motor, like, it does not go well, usually. Pretty horrendously.
Pedro Acosta did confirm this on the podcast.
I've seen so many friends who race super bikes at the top of the game, and you sit them on a dirt bike, they're awfully dangerous. Like, just everything is wrong. Like, it just doesn't work. But yeah, so you move from dirt bikes to street bikes, and you can actually like figure it out pretty fast. It's something a little bit different. So I thought I'd give this a go, see what I can do, and didn't really realize the cost difference between riding moto and riding super bikes. It wasn't super bikes at the time. I was a 600cc stock class at British Championship, and anyway, jumped on this bike and did a few rounds. I had my 12-year-old brother at the time. He was my mechanic, my main mechanic, and my granddad had come and helped me out. And he was like 65, 70 years old, and he's a joiner by trade, a carpenter. So also knew nothing about mechanics at all. And tried to race this British level championship, won 2 races, but then also didn't finish 6 due to like my sump bolt fell out my bike at one round because my 12-year-old brother, bear in mind, and this is not a dig at him because he's also 12 years old. He should not have had this responsibility. Yeah. He'd done an oil change and forgot to like do it off, and it fell out anyway. Missed a bunch of races due to all these mechanical things, and realized everybody in this, quite like car racing that's in street bikes, you can't do it without money. So I was like, I'm not from money. I'm from like a standard working class family. Like, my parents were like struggling to get by funding like motocross as a kid. And I never had like tuned motors. I never had my suspension done. I had a bike, and that I got the bike, and that was it. Like, you had to just ride it as good as you could ride it. All my friends who I'd race against, they had like motors tuned and like trick suspension and all bike setup and stuff. We couldn't afford that. So it was like, I think it made me better as a rider anyway, to just ride the shit out of whatever I had. So then moving into like 600cc like street bikes was like then impossible, this complete unobtainable thing, where I had a few sponsors that were helping me at the time that were making it just about possible. And after I won a couple of races in 16, for 17, I had a bunch of teams contact me, and they're like, "Oh, come on, we want you to ride for us. Like, you, the next big thing, you won 2 races and you've never even rode street bikes before." It's like, it was a big deal. And I went for all these meetings, and you're like, wow, this is it. Like, I've got like, all I ever dreamed of as a kid was having a career racing bikes, not having to work a 9 till 5 and getting to ride motorbikes as a living. And I was like, wow, this is insane. And then you get further down the line, and they go, oh yeah, we can give you this, that, the other mechanics, best bikes, this bike, the other bike, whatever you want. All you have to do is bring us like 150 grand and we're good to go. I'm like, what? Like, I ain't got 150 quid. Never mind. I ain't got 150 grand. And then you speak to someone else and they're like, okay, we'll do you a real good deal. We'll do it for 100 grand. And you're like, not.
Still no.
Yeah, nowhere near. And that was pretty much it really at the time. Like I didn't have an avenue to go anywhere else. My old man was helping me out at the time with the cost of racing, and he lost his job and had no job at the time. So he was like, I can't do anything right now. And that was kind of it. Like at the beginning of 17, I was like, I might not race again. And I had this team basically say it was Kawasaki combined with a team, and they had an official Superstock team, and Kawasaki were like, right, we'll support you, we'll put most of the money in. If you can come up with 20 grand of sponsorship, like you can ride for this team. So I just said yes. I didn't know I was coming up with the money or what I was going to do, and thought it was going to be great. The guy who owned the team was, I don't know, there's not really a nice way to put it. The guy was a dick, a complete dick. I basically went for a meeting with him, and he was like, I'm basically running you because Kawasaki said I have to if I want this official title to the team. I'm only interested in the Superstock 1000 riders that I have. I'm not interested in Superstock 600, what you're going to ride in. And I'm like, okay, that's cool, that's fine, as long as I get to race. I'm not bothered what you want. And anyway, just from that point, it's sort of just, I should have thought about it a bit longer beforehand and come up with this 20 grand of sponsorship, and worked hard, raised a bit of money myself, got a few sponsors, paid this money, and at the first round turned up, and the team are like, oh, like you've got a mechanic. I'm like, none at all. And they're like, no, like figure it out yourself. I'm like, but you've promised this and that. Oh yeah, well your mechanic hasn't turned up. And that was like complete,
just bullshit.
Yeah, complete bullshit. They'd told him not to come or something. And anyway, no mechanic. I called my dad up and I was like, can you come and give me a hand? He was like, all right, I'll come down and I'll like put you. But my dad's like, he can like change your oil and do a few bits. He's not like he's not rebuilding the motor or setting the suspension up. He was like, I'll come and put your tire warmers on and put some fuel in the bike. So he come and did that, and I led the whole race and finished third at the end. And I thought, okay, this is going to change it. I walked into the garage, the pit box, and they were like, didn't care, weren't bothered one bit. And I thought, okay, we'll need to sort something for the next race. And they called me up. So you'd leave on like Wednesday evening to go to the race, and they called me up on Wednesday evening, and they're like, "We're leaving the race shop in 30 minutes, and we can't fit your bike in the truck. So if you want to race, you've got to be here in 30 minutes." And I live like 2 hours away from where the team were based. If you not here in 30 minutes, then the bike will get locked in the shop, and you can't race this weekend. I'm like, what? That can't be real. So I rang up a friend that I knew lived close by. He went and picked the bike up, drove it down to this track. We've worked out if somebody else is on to race this weekend. We did 2 practice sessions and did okay. And then they come up to the awning. Some of the mechanics from the team come up to the awning and said, "Oh, we've been told to take the bike back." So they come and took the bike off us, took it down to
This is insane.
It's crazy, isn't it? Like, you wouldn't believe it, but like it's absolutely wild. And took it down to their pit box, and they said, "Oh, it's our bike, so if you want to ride it, you have to do it out of our pit box." Okay. So I went down there, and they went, "All your suspensions are completely wrong. We got to change it all." I was like, no, don't, like, leave it. We've sorted it out. It's fine. And they're like, no, it's all wrong. It's our bike. It's our suspension. We'll set it up. So they just messed it all up. I went out in qualifying. Was horrendous. It was like unrideable. And I was like, I'm just going to hurt myself.
What was the guy's problem?
he just didn't want to run a six. He was actually like, he actually was a little bit bipolar. So he had like, he was a bit nuts anyway.
Yeah.
But he just didn't have any interest in riding a 600. And I know a couple of the guys who raced for the team over the years, and he either absolutely loved you or hated you. And it was from nothing to do with what you've done. He just loved some people and hated some people. And that was it. Unfortunately, I was on the shitty end of the stick of that, and he was not a fan of me for whatever reason and wasn't interested in helping me. So messed my suspension up. I basically called my dad after this session. I'm like, what do I do? I'm like basically in tears. I'm like,
because you're pretty young at this point too, right?
Yeah,
You'd
so
be
I was,
what, 18, 19?
Yeah, so 17, 18 or something.
Yeah.
It was 2016.
It's a lot for a kid, really.
So I'm like young anyway, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm meant to do here, what's the right decision. And my dad didn't know what to say either. He was like, you do whatever's right. And I was like, all right, like I got to quit because it's not going to help me. I'm just going to crash in. I was demoralized. I'd just had enough by this point. I was like, what am I doing? Like I race bikes because I love it, because it's all I've ever wanted to do, because I love doing it. And I have not loved one part of this year so far. Like, it's been horrific. So I basically quit the team. They wouldn't give me the money back, nothing like that. Kawasaki said there was nothing they could do. I think they actually did. I think they actually left me with they give me a dirt bike on loan, and they were like, oh, you can keep that like till the end of the year so you can still like ride your dirt bike. And that was it. And then I was basically like, this is the end of my career. Like, my career that hasn't really started yet, but I thought it had. The end of me racing, and didn't know what I was going to do. I'd actually then was working a couple of different jobs. I quit my job because they wouldn't give me the time off to go racing. So I was working for one friend he's a tree surgeon, like chopping trees down basically. So I was just like helping him out doing that, and then also selling insurance for like injury protection for like people going on track days or riding motor and stuff. When they get like injured, they get a payout. So I was like going around tracks hoping that I'd like meet someone who might want to like sponsor me, or meet a team that would give me a ride, or anything really. So I'm like going around selling this insurance and trying to make some money doing that. And then next thing, I get a call off my mate Tom. He's actually now racing in World Supersport. And he calls me up and he's like, you got to come to this race. You got to come to the Isle of Man TT. And I'm like, yeah, I've heard of it. I'd love to go. I ain't got no money. I can't do it. He's like, mate, figure it out. It's awesome. Like, you'll love it. Parties are mental. Like, you want to come check it out? It's crazy. I'm like, I'll see what I can do. Let me think about it. And I call up my boss at the insurance company, Simon. And I called him up and I'm like, I've got an idea. And he's like, right. I'm like, if you could pay for my flights to the TT, think of how much insurance I would sell on the Isle of Man while the TT's going on. Like, it'd be loads. I really sold it to him. And he's like, all right, where are you going to stay? Because you won't get any accommodation now. I'm like, I'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. Just get me my flights and I'll be good. So he was like, all right, sure. It starts tomorrow or something. When do you want to go? I'm like, send me now. He's like, there's a flight at 6 a.m. Like, you'll have to leave in 2 hours. I'm like, all right, I'll do that. And
that's awesome, dude.
He booked me a flight, and I set off, packed my bag, packed a like rucksack full of about 2 pairs of pants, and that was it. And then got on this flight to the Isle of Man. Basically, didn't know where I was going. I didn't really know anything about it. I know who John McGuinness was, and that was about it. Like, I knew nothing. It's this crazy road race. Like, I knew nothing. Went over there, seen it for the first time, stood at the top of Bray Hill, just at St. Ninian's Crossroads. And the first bikes that came by, I was like everybody is, absolutely mind blown. But I was like, this is what I want to do. This looks sick. Like, and I assumed until very recently, actually, I thought every racer had exactly that same feeling. I thought everybody that went there would go, yes, this is sick. I want to go at this. And then I found out, as I say, quite recently that everybody I take over there, I'm like, who races bikes, I'm like, does it make you want to go? And they're like, fuck no, absolutely not. Why are you nuts? I don't want to do this. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. I just like going back to the beginning where you got that switch that's yes or no. And mine must have been set to yes for some reason, because as soon as I saw it, I'm like, sick. Like I will do whatever it takes to get to race this race. I'll ride whatever bike, do anything. Like, just want to race here. It looks mental. I want to go. And that was pretty much the start of it. I slept on the floor of someone's race truck, in the back of the race truck for 2 weeks. Sam West, the guy's called, sat on the back of his in the back of his truck, drank a lot of free drink I could get from anywhere because I had no money, and had a great time, and was like, TT is the best thing ever from that point, and just started doing a bit of homework trying to learn the course, because that's all anybody said. They're like, that is the hardest part, is learning the track, trying to learn just shy of 38 miles of windy road, 250 odd corners. Like, that takes a lot of time. So I was like, right, got my friend to take me for a lap around, and we're driving for ages and ages and ages, and we're driving around, and we just got to this section a section that I know now, and I'm like, I know where we are now. And he was like, right, do you? I'm like, yeah, I've watched a few videos. I'm like, we're nearly back to the beginning, aren't we? 'Cause we've been driving like maybe 45 minutes. We're like nearly back to the beginning. He was like, no. I'm like, yeah, but close. And he's like, this is the end of the first sector of 6. I was like, oh shit. This is a lot longer than I thought it was. This is a lot of road. And yeah, anyway, that sort of like fired me up to be like, this is going to be really hard to learn. So I just then started watching videos. I bought the PlayStation game, borrowed my brother's PlayStation, and just hammered the PlayStation game over and over and over again, to the point where just before my first TT in 2018, I was second on the world leaderboards on the game.
No way.
Because I just tried to play it every day, just at least for like an hour. I do a couple of laps and just got good at the game even. And then I ended up helping the game developers the next 2 editions of the game.
No shit. Is it just the Isle of Man game, or is it?
Yeah.
Right.
So it's not, because they've got like some of the other road race tracks on Ride and stuff like that.
Yep.
But the Isle of Man TT Ride on the Edge is called. The first edition was what I played, and then number 2 and number 3, which is like a bit of a like childhood crazy moment thing. I'm the front cover and like the main rider on the game for the next 2, because they like heard about the story that I used the game like so much and got really good at the game to go fast, and they're like, yes, we'll use that.
That is insane, bro. So is this Isle of Man movie literally about you? Because this is a fucking movie.
It could be. I think a few people have said that it could be it'd be a fun film or story or something, but I don't think the film is not. It's like it's a love story thing, I think.
Yeah, you and the Isle of Man.
It should be. Nah, I think I could. A few people since, when they've heard this like story in a couple of ways, they've heard this story, and a few people have approached me asking to write like a book and stuff like that. But maybe at some point.
Yeah.
I don't have the time. I don't have the time, man. I don't have the time.
Fuck, that is crazy, dude. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea that's the origin story of this whole thing. You just finished watching a clip from the full 3-hour podcast. You're on our Clips channel. The full podcasts live on the Gypsy Tales podcast channel. It's linked right here. Go over to that channel, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and make sure you never miss a full episode of the Gypsy Tales podcast. If you don't want to watch it on YouTube, you want to watch it on the go, you can also head to our iTunes or Spotify to get the full 3-hour podcast in audio format.
I met a gypsy.